Well, happy holidays. It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas and all of the celebration on the holiday season. Kellie, you are wearing, what are you wearing? Paint the picture for our Audible listeners.
Son of a nutcracker. Woo!
Which is, let's
it's
talk
Buddy
about
the
that.
Elf. Buddy the Elf. Elf is one of the best Christmas movies there is.
Okay, so
Don't
first
you
of all,
agree?
wait a minute. No and no. So, and I liked Will Ferrell in SNL for sure those years ago. There are times. Okay, let's just like break it all down. Like we hit the ground running.
Ruining my Christmas spirit, guys.
That was the goal. That was the goal. So typically we talk about Difficult People, the series, Billy, Julie, and their antics. We think, honestly, Julie and her "It's better to be bitter on Christmas" to me is just like magic, you know. But we broke for a moment on our favorite two characters, and let's do a holiday episode. And right off the bat, Kellie's coming for me by saying, and I'm very festive too. If you're listening audibly, I'm wearing, a Santa hat, a red shirt, like it's, very decorative. But you're trying to say that you think Elf is a great movie? Like
1,000,000% is. I mean, come on.
Does it make you laugh though? Is it a funny movie?
Yes. You're being a cotton-headed ninny muggins right now.
And it was okay. I'll say this: wasn't there some truth to Will Ferrell not being the person to do this? I think if we would have had somebody else, even Billy Eichner, if he would have got the character, it would have been funnier. That's not to say Will Ferrell's not funny. He's just not funny in this.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So no. when they said he wasn't coming back for a sequel, I said, good.
Well, I mean, where do you go for a sequel? I wouldn't have wanted to see a sequel anyway, but no.
I didn't laugh the whole time.
What?
Give me a joke. Go. Give me a joke.
What? You didn't even laugh at Big Worm, who is from Friday, who was the department store manager. I mean, come on.
Well, I think it was funny that he did state recently, he's like, listen, if Will Ferrell can't come back, I can come back. he's like, if there's checks to be had, I'd like to have them. It doesn't strike me as a really funny holiday movie at all. Unless, let's think about working with Kellie as you always make me think, right? If I had like children, maybe, because it's like a nice, cute movie, maybe. And I like Mary Steenburgen, so that's great. What's his name? Khan is in it as well. It's
yes.
But it just was not funny. Like who was saying, when you think about like the classic SNL skits, the cheerleader.
Well, right. But I didn't think some of those were funny, but.
Oh, the cheerleader was pretty good. The more cowbell was pretty good. So I'm not knocking Will Ferrell in general. I am knocking that you have to be critical that it wasn't that funny of a movie.
I would disagree with you.
And you want to know what's funny? Every year on Twitter, I see a couple people say stuff like, I don't believe or I don't trust people who don't like the movie Elf. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, if you like Elf, you stand 10 feet away from me. I don't like you.
Okay. So Elf, okay. What about the all-time classic that is just too good that I like? If you have the wrong answer here, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
We're gonna quit. We're gonna quit the show.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Good. Yes.
Okay, so we're in agreement there.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like slapsticky, or it wouldn't be slapstick, but like physical comedy. I just thought the movie itself, Elf, was like phoned in to a degree. Isn't that funny? I could talk all that shit. Mind you, I've not been on a movie set where I was the actor. So probably if I tried to do it, it would be terrible. So maybe I should just simmer a little bit. But I also know that I didn't love it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Well, a Christmas movie that I really can't stand and everybody loves it, and I am the minority that hates it, but is A Christmas Story.
Okay.
A Christmas Story. Not a huge fan. I will say a lot of good one-liners come from it, but my mom and my sister love that movie. It divides our house. Like I can't even with it. I want nothing to do with it.
What's the reason behind that?
I just don't like it. I don't know if it's because like back in the day when you were on, actually watching regular cable, There was a time when TBS, does anybody remember TBS? Does anyone have the TBS app? But
Boy,
TBS would play
she got so aggressive.
over. No, I mean, they had some great shows, like, but they used to play A Christmas Story. I think it was TBS, like over and over and over on Christmas Day. Like it was just on repeat the whole day.
Mhm.
And so my mom would have, or on Christmas Eve, my mom would have that on and that's all we would watch. And I'm like, I hate this movie. Like, turn it off.
So you might just hate it because
now
it was fed down your throat a little bit. Maybe
I
it's
mean, I
that.
really just don't think it's all that funny. Like, I don't know. Like, because I watched it again recently, you know, because I had this debate with some other people, and you know, I will say there are, like I said, there are good one-liners, so there are like some funny pieces from it, but as a whole, just not a fan.
Do you follow the every year it's something different Hallmark Lifetime movies? Can you get a warm heart?
Oh my God. Like I have Hallmark Christmas movies on all day. Like I love like I love them. I will watch them over and over and over. It is my guilty pleasure. I love Hallmark movies every season, everything, like the silly, giddy, happy ending love stories. Like I love everything about them.
Well, that's what I was painting the picture. I was basically stating that just because you critique one doesn't mean you don't like the genre. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like Elf. It just does not speak to me.
Okay, well, that's me with A Christmas Story. So,
yeah. Okay, so another question, and again, this is just going to be jumping around. We have such a good time talking about Billy and Julie. Difficult People is the show we recap, and honestly, we are combing through that. Like we're almost done. Kellie, during the Halloween episode, had a little bit of an idea to kind of take some moments to also like be within the holiday season. So that's kind of why we're doing this. And I believe we're going to do a year in review 2021 asking, and this is what we're going to do, Kellie, if it's okay with you. We're going to ask our guests because we're going to bring in a panel. Look at our budget. Thank you, Viridian Row. The budget's going up.
Yes, ViridianRow.com right here if you want some Son of a Nutcracker business.
I have plenty of Viridian Row shirts as well. Go to the website, ViridianRow.com. We're going to do a panel and we're going to recap year in review 2021. And in the panel, this is what I want to do. I want to come up with all these memorable moments, but I want to ask the question. This is pertinent to Billy and Julie. The episode where Julie and Billy are talking about, let's just follow after Shonda Rhimes, the year of the yes. I want to ask our panelists, going into 2022, is it team year of the yes or team kiss my ass? And that's just a question that's on my warm-hearted spirit right now. Anyways, back to holiday movies. So you like...
Okay, so tell me a Christmas movie that you do like, please.
I'm gonna first start by saying that I loved Netflix this year, had a movie called Single All the Way. Okay. Have you heard of it at all?
I have. I saw the preview for it, which I feel like was the whole movie, but I did see the preview.
Yeah, cinematic masterpiece. That's not what I'm really stating, but just like a feel-good thing. Yeah. So yes. Jennifer Coolidge.
It was very Hallmark movie-ish. Yes.
Yeah. But it was good. You know, on one hand, I have, and, you know, we think this when we think of Billy Eichner doing Bros, which will be out August of 2022. We think of the relevance of not just the gay rom-com, but like the need for it or whatever. But then at the same time, there has been other ones in the past, Kellie. Not all of them are good, but then there's a theory that you sort of want to support it. It's that thing, you know? So what I'm going to say is this one, I went in watching it and oh my God, I'm such a softie. Cause I was like tears in the eyes and like super Aww. Like, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was done well. The actor was Michael Urie, Philemon Chambers, Jennifer Coolidge, and I was gonna say Jennifer Tilly, Jennifer Coolidge and Kathy Najimy and Barry Bostwick. So it was like just a really great cast already. And the storyline was cute. They started in LA, they went back to New England. It was a storyline, which there's a lot of this going around now. Bringing home a fake person as a fake boyfriend. So that part was a little like, okay, you have to suspend disbelief. But outside of that, it was really done cute. And I watched it twice, Kellie.
Oh, Oh, well, I'll definitely have to watch it. It's on my list.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've got Hallmark all day, so I have to pencil in these other things that I'm watching.
Yeah.
And because I think I've seen every single Hallmark Christmas movie that has ever been made.
Yeah. I think you'll like this one. The references are really cute. You know, there's a Britney Spears song, a Christmas song, so that is featured in the movie too. There's a couple like classic like you know, Madonna dialogue by way of Jennifer Coolidge's character will sneak in the show. So it's just so good. It's so cute. It really got me in the spirit. And I hope they have a season 2 or episode 2 or sequel. See, I can't get it together. I'm like, what day is it?
Well, maybe they'll have something for New Year's. Who knows?
Yes, something will happen. Single all the way. But anyways, it's very cute. Can I ask you what you think about as far as movies that aren't Christmas movies but are deemed as Christmas movies, like Die Hard? Do you think that is
Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie.
Because why?
Because it's in Christmas. He goes to a Christmas party. It's a Christmas movie. They just happen to get taken over by terrorists.
She shut me down so fast. She shut me down so quick. Okay.
It's a Christmas action movie. Come on.
So is Family Man with Nicolas Cage a Christmas movie because it starts on Christmas Eve and he's this high-powered stockbroker, you know, and like doesn't even care about Christmas really, but then in his new life he cares about these things. So is that a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Okay.
He realizes it's a very Scrooge-esque. He like, you know, realizes some stuff. So absolutely.
To your point on that, Scrooged I loved, of course.
Oh, Bill Murray. I mean, come on.
And I also love, it came out a couple years ago, but I watch it every year now. A Very Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes.
I like it so much. I like it so much.
Yeah, I actually met Bill Murray once. It was really fun. He was a very, very interesting guy.
Is he loud or what's interesting me?
Well, no. I mean, he was just, you know, very well. I mean, it was kind of at a restaurant at a dinner. George Clooney introduced me to him.
Okay,
We named up a little bit. But
look at these publicist stories from back in the day. Yeah.
But it was you know, he was very nice and very like a lot, you know, more tame than I thought he'd be in like a after party environment. But you know,
he strikes me as very funny. Like, you know, I can go back and watch Scrooged every year, and I really have taken it in me to now watch A Very Merry Christmas. I like the concept of it's a blizzard and the city shuts down, and it's just you got to kind of go with it and have like, you know, some scotch or whatever. Like I really enjoy it. My last Christmas movie I was going to ask you, and really it's where it started from. I would tell everybody, in my opinion, Rent is a Christmas movie. And people would be like, no, it's not. Not that it's not fantastic. Well, I mean, stage show too, but like the point is Rent, you could watch it and you could get into your Christmas feels, don't you think?
I think so. I think it's, you know, if it's not like officially a Christmas movie, I think it's very Christmas adjacent.
I mean, it's on Christmas Eve. It goes through a whole year span. So it ends the same time. So
I can see why there's an argument because it doesn't just happen around the season specifically, as most Christmas movies do, including Die Hard. It all happens like at a Christmas party. It's one time frame. So maybe, but the year round kind of like going through everything to come back to Christmas, I'd say it's a Christmas movie.
I'm going to say it is too. And if anyone doesn't agree with me, they're clearly wrong. I watched on Netflix. We're just jumping around here. I watched on Netflix With Love. That was really cute. This is Gloria Calderon. Colette is on the project. She was on the project that was doing the One Day at a Time reboot too. So I really like her work and her vision. The cast was so wonderful. Some of my favorite people. And it was based in the vein of like going back home for Christmas and just like being infused with those big families and like where that lands and the humor in it and stuff like that. And it jumped around a little bit too, but it started in the holiday season and New Year's and all that. So holidays are fun. They just are. I mean, they could be.
I mean, another one of my favorites is Christmas with the Cranks.
Don't get away from my question. Don't forget that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
My question is going to be, do you ever have that pressure too, where you have to go home to a family thing and like them say, hey, are you single? Are you seeing anyone? Do you ever go through that
Oh
stress?
my God. Like I every single year. It's
Mm,
like been very few times I've actually been in a relationship during the holidays. And it's now I think my family's just used to it, so they don't give me grief over it anymore. But and no, it definitely used to be a thing. So I definitely empathize with these movies that are bringing the fake boyfriend and girlfriends home because you just
mhm.
don't want to hear it. Like it's always looked at when you know, at any point, like being single is a bad thing and it's oh so sad. And
Right.
you know, your life is oh, I'm so sorry for you. And I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at your life and I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to aspire for that. So, you know, keep your sorries to yourself.
Yes, 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 yes.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
like, I've always had an issue with that because, you know, no one wants to be alone at the end of the day. And of course, I would, you know, love to find like my perfect match and whatever, but I haven't. But that shouldn't be like a woe is me thing.
well, and
So
also,
luckily for me, my big family has kind of gotten used to it and gotten over it.
well, what's the alternative? Like settling, but like, so are you supposed to settle and bring home somebody that's lesser than what you're looking for? That seems wild to me.
Well, that seems wild to me too, which is why I've never like I won't do it. And I've, you know, witnessed a few instances where I believe that's what's happened just for the sake of getting married or being in a relationship around people that I
Mhm.
know. And it's like, you know, whatever makes you happy, but you
Right.
don't need to do the whole, oh, I'm so sorry for you deal because I'm single. And a lot of movies, you know, portray that and show that because it is a stereotype for this, you know, for the single person, especially when you get to a certain age, it becomes even
Mm.
worse.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
can't.
like, you know, when you're hitting, you know, old school spinster territory, you know?
Which I would like to contrast that altogether. I'm,
Yeah.
the concept of like the cat lady or, like, yeah,
Mhm.
I don't love that. That is not to say that the people who are of a certain age would not enjoy something wonderful, but I think that's the same way you want tons of blessings to happen. You want a better job, you want a better,
Right.
home situation, but sometimes things just take time. And if we all start getting that arc to fill that we need to settle, then that's no kind of life either. It's funny in that movie with Love, Gloria Calderon Collette, who I enjoy her work, her character, her name was Aunt Gladys, and there was a lot of lines in there where they were like, oh, something something, and you're this and you're that, and she's like, are you kidding me? I got a fabulous life. I'm 44, always looking for more. Like, she was so
Love it.
hype about her wonderful life, and she's like, I do what I want, I have this friend, that friend, we party, like, I'm happy. There is such a shock to people that like you could be
Right.
happy, and
Like if you're not in a relationship, you could not possibly be happy.
yeah. And
And I just, no.
by the way, I've seen some people that I know who are in some questionable relationships, and I'm like, is that the goal? That's not the goal.
Right? That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. I
this
don't
ain't
know.
gonna end up good. But I'm trying
No.
to
No.
throw bricks at glass houses. Relationships are difficult, and that's what makes
Mhm.
these stories really good, because how do you bring home somebody to the family? Yeah, sometimes it doesn't mix. Okay, tell me about this other movie that you really enjoy.
Oh, so Christmas with the Cranks, I think, is a lot of fun. It's Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen, and you know, the whole concept is they've decided to skip Christmas because their daughter goes off to the Peace Corps, and they're going to go on a cruise instead. And they're the family that hosts a Christmas party every year. They decorate their house, and it's like a whole thing. And it's just kind of silly, but I always thought it was kind of fun. And it's just it's on my list of Christmas movies to watch. That one.
Silly and fun
And
is good.
Jingle All the Way, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean,
Oh, are
have
you
you
trying to
seen it
rival
with
my
his
single all the way opinion?
Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Hmm.
Sinbad? It's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Have
Um,
you never seen that?
I've not seen that one. No. Mm-mm.
What? Put it
Yeah,
on the list.
I get into watching them for sure. Oh, I did watch the Mariah Carey. I watched her singing. Um, I
I
like.
watched last year's. I haven't seen the new one.
Yeah, I'll watch them all. If there's a cartoon, I'll watch that too. It's funny because I'm such a J Lo fan, so you're like not supposed to be a Mariah fan, but I really am
I
growing
don't
to it.
know her.
I don't know her. Well, she's very forgettable. Um, J Lo said back to Mariah. Um, but yeah, it's just this thing where I really kind of like where she's going with this. I think there may have been a time where Mariah didn't want to be sort of pigeonholed for just this Christmas stuff, but I think now that her kids are getting older, it's as if she gets really excited about it, and you can see it through the work. At least that's how I feel. And
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah, I'm all
She should capitalize on it. It's one of the best Christmas
yeah.
songs that you always get in the mood when you hear it, and
Yeah, I think there's a part of Mariah's career that people do love and adore her and know her skill set, but there's a part of her, in my opinion, that still is looking for that credibility, that she deserves. I'm not saying she doesn't, but for some reason, sometimes
from her popsicle cart putting TRL days.
Well, now, Kellie, was that necessary? Listen to my co-host.
I digress.
You wild. This was supposed to be our nice episode. We never find a way to be nice fully now, do we? No, you were nice. She was nice. We love Mariah. I remember that episode. Boy, do I remember that episode. My dream in life at the time was to be a TRL host. So then to see that was like, well, what do you do, Carson Daly? What do you do?
Oh my gosh, that was insane.
Do you like the holidays as they hit with New Year's? Like, do you ever feel like it's too much? And I ask you that because you're a Sagittarius birthday, which is why I believe the holiday spirit might feel different for you. Same as like for me being a Virgo, I always think the greatest time of the year is like post summer going into fall. Like I feel like it's a mental transition for me because it's my birthday. Is what is it?
Like I love it. I do. I love everything about it. My parents got married on New Year's Eve, and like it's just like such a fun time, and I've always loved the holiday season. And the only thing I didn't really like about it as a kid was my birthday being so close to Christmas. Even though it's not that close, it's still close. So it's like we can't do too much because people are getting ready for Christmas break and traveling and family stuff, and it was always a thing. But as I've gotten older, it really hasn't mattered too much. But I do, like, I love the Christmas season. And that's why I said, like, I love going to Disneyland for Christmas. Like, I love the way it's decorated. Love all
biggest shocker
like, Christmas
ever.
lights running around. Like, I love it. I love everything about it.
Does not check out to her character at all. I would have never guessed that.
I know, it really doesn't.
And I hate the damn place.
It's so funny.
I don't want to say I hate it, but I'm just like, do I have a niece or nephew I gotta take? Like, it's a chore.
Oh, I don't even need that. I just need myself.
No. I was talking to somebody recently at a holiday event, actually, and she was like, oh yeah, I take my kids to Disneyland. We have the passes. We go like once a week. I was like, for fun? Like
it's just for me.
And I know what you said because we've talked about this on past episodes. You've talked about it being like an ironic thing, go and maybe get sauced up a little bit prior to walking in. I can see it for sure.
Yeah, but I still genuinely love, for whatever reason, I don't know. I love being there. And at Christmas, it's decorated so beautifully, and they incorporate another one of my favorite Christmas movies, which is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
That they incorporate into all of their Christmas decorations. So the Haunted Mansion is like overcome with Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's just so cool. And
maybe
I love it.
I figured it out. Maybe in radio, because when we worked in radio, and I did more stations than you'd went into publicity, but which you probably were at events too. But in radio, this, we always did a Disneyland broadcast, and oh my goodness. Yeah. I guess,
know. I remember I found my like Disneyland shirt from when California Adventure debuted the friggin' Hollywood Tower of Terror that they closed down.
I feel like maybe my mind is locked into if I'm doing a Disneyland.
Well, and then there was grad nights when they would close down Disneyland. So maybe you're just like, and especially because you grew up in California, Southern California and stuff. So it was just like maybe that's like with me with Six Flags, like I don't really like care, but Disneyland, I don't know.
That's a good way to say it.
On earth to me.
And I'm not a very happy person, so why would
and neither am I. And I hate people, especially crowds all together, and children.
Yeah, I think I have that muscle memory. What was it? What was the line with Julie and Difficult People? Oh, he's one of these people that thinks just because I like dogs means I like kids. That to me was very, very funny.
I mean, I felt that to my soul.
It's like, yeah, like I love my puppies, or my dogs, but like leave me alone about these runny nosed kids. No, I think that might be my Disneyland thing, is that for so many years working in radio in the Los Angeles market,
Mhm.
We had always done radio promotional events, and you don't know Disneyland than to do a radio promotion, showing up
Right.
at 4 a.m, setting up. And
Mhm.
not only that, you have all your listeners there, and they're like, which I loved, the people were great, but like the amount of energy that takes, it just takes a toll where I'm like, this is not fun anymore, you know.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
it definitely does. But I think I wasn't involved in that as much as you. I only did California radio for 2 years before I moved on to publicity.
yeah.
And then it was a whole different thing. Like
What do
it
you,
wasn't Disneyland that I got over. It was like going to bars and parties all the time because it was my
yeah,
job to do that. So then I'm like, no, I just want to stay home on my free time.
I have two questions
So
for you. What do you think
mhm.
about, like, once it gets to New Year's, are you drained because you've had your birthday, you've had the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, or do you bring it on? You love it all. That's the first question. Actually, answer that, and then I got one more tougher question for you.
No, I'm kind of, working in events for so many years, I never really celebrated New Year's. I always, with the exception of maybe a couple of years over the last 17, I usually had to work.
Mm,
So the companies I worked for or the brands I worked with usually always hosted a party. So I didn't really ever go out and celebrate. So by the time New Year's came around, I was just like, whatever.
mm. I think for me, even though both of us are very pro, like, oh, just be single, who gives a shit? I'm totally, maybe from the works that we've both done, I am not interested to always have to go to a big thing, because you, throughout the year, you do a lot of big things. Maybe not anymore because I'm a little older, but in your 20s, early 30s,
Yeah.
you're everywhere. Every single things don't even feel fun anymore. They feel like if it's a holiday, there's some kind of consumer angle with the work that you do, radio, publicity, etc. So it gets a little exhausting. That, to me, honestly, I can, and I could do it alone, single too, but I guess I would love to do it with the romantic interest. I like to just be home watching the countdown on the TV. That, to me, works,
Yeah.
for Christmas. Okay, last question, and then we can talk more about movies or whatever and wrap up soon. But what is your thoughts on the politically correct concept of being so open and inclusive, which I love? To me, it doesn't hurt to say Happy Holidays versus Merry Christmas.
Mhm.
If I know that you celebrate Christmas, then of course I could say that. We could sing Christmas songs, but I feel good about that. But it seemed over the years, people would get really hiccupy over shit like that. How dare the Starbucks be, inclusive with their cups? What is your feelings on that? Because I think it's totally
I love the inclusivity actually because it's always there's nothing wrong with that, no
mm,
matter how you celebrate. And the thing is, if you truly are a person that celebrates Christmas for what Christians and Catholics believe is the point of Christmas, the birth of Jesus and all of these things, then you know better that it's not your place to judge what other people are doing
right.
because you're not supposed to be the judge. So if you're being a true person, it shouldn't bother you. Like, yes, you're supposed to spread the word, of course, but not to the detriment of someone else. Like, you don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's, great. It's like the same. Like, how many times do you wear Starbucks like with Hanukkah? Like, that's kind of crappy, right? Like, that's leaving out a whole religion of people
Right.
when
Right.
you're,
Right.
if you're only saying Merry Christmas and you're not doing anything for that. So I
And
feel like
and
everyone
it's,
should be included.
yeah, it seems
But,
so easy to
celebrate as you will.
it seems so easy to just extend, because we know that everyone doesn't fit within the subscription of what you do. So what's the problem? But I do remember specifically, I remember one year I had a real tough year and had to, can't even mention this. I had to work as an Uber driver. Oh my goodness, Kelly, I cannot believe I stated the swill of working as a Uber driver. But it was at a time where things were bad, you know, as it is, things aren't that much greater.
I mean, but thank God for Uber, right? That you were able to do that, I have to say.
Yeah. So as an Uber driver this particular year, luckily now our podcast is so good and Viridian Row is dropping that coin. And we have 5 other sponsors just waiting. We're just waiting to decide.
I
Right.
mean, that's bringing the energy. We're manifesting.
You see what I'm saying?
Right?
Yeah, bitches are gonna know soon, Kelly. They're gonna know. But anyways, I had to do this one particular year. I had to ride the Uber or drive the Ubers. And it was a year that recently, maybe 3 years ago or something, where I think it was the big year with the Hucklebub. Well, not Hucklebub, what would you call it? Like the stuff of it was the year of the people's opinions were really shining.
Oh yeah.
They were very like, you should say Christmas. And I would be like, no, I kind of want to say happy holidays as a easy way to say it to everybody. Like, I don't know your situation. And I'm going to tell you, it was so nasty. I would be Ubering and I would drop people off at their location and I would say, okay, happy holidays. And they would be like, Merry Christmas. And I was like, why is it so serious? Yeah. If anything, if you were going to complain, you should have not given me a 5-star because I talked for the 30-minute drive. Because if you know Ronnie.
Oh, you're that driver?
Yeah. If you know Ronnie, you know that I'm like, so what's up? Like, I'm not going to be just driving you like I'm your chauffeur, even though that's what the job does require. And I'd have people laughing, Kelly. I'd have people making career changes. I think I drove Ben Savage once from Boy Meets World. Yeah. I mean, I should have locked in on that because it felt like he was like, wow, you're really talented. I should have said, well, let's get me an agent now, you know. Anyways, the bigger point is I'm driving all these people 40-minute drives and I'm making them laugh and, you know, telling them like they would say, oh, you have a great personality. I'm like, well, duh, radio personality, like, duh, I shouldn't even be doing this dumb, shitty job. But it would be so odd to me that they could fall in love with me so quickly and then dropping them off. This is not everyone, but a couple of people. Oh, okay, thank you. Here's your location. Boom. Happy holidays. And they had the urge to be like, no, it's Merry Christmas. Like it was such an infringing on their situation. Oh, I can't believe I went down
that too. Bye.
You know, I have another way to say goodbye. It's usually a middle finger. You want that? I can't believe I went down that memory lane. That is not fun.
No, I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, people do get very touchy about it. And I mean, at the end of the day, Jesus loved everybody, whether you believe in him or not. That was kind of his whole deal. So if you are a good Catholic or a good Christian, then be nice.
Yeah.
And if somebody tells you happy holidays, you don't have to snarkily say Merry Christmas. You can simply reply with Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all okay.
It's all okay. What my last question to you, unless you have any other holiday movies you want to bring to the forefront, when is the perfect time to put up Christmas tree lights, like the lights, holiday lights, and when is the perfect time to start watching holiday movies? I have a rule that you do not watch a single holiday movie before Thanksgiving. That's what I
start watching them in July, so it's Christmas in July. So
oh, you're one of those.
I'm one of those. I love that's how much it goes against my personality, as you know me, that I love Christmas. It's insane. But Christmas lights, all that stuff, I say after Thanksgiving. You take it out, put them up after Thanksgiving, take it down after New Year's.
Is there a rule to take everything down? Oh, you said after New Year's, everything has to go down?
Everything should.
Right away?
Within like that week, I would say.
Oh, I'd go up until February with the lights. Yeah.
Well, I believe you would.
You know, that was a personal attack. You guys heard that? get your Christmas. I feel, yeah, right. I'm like, if I put them up, I'm tired. They're gonna stay up till the next year. I'm kidding. It's fun. We just wanted to do a festive episode. How is your gift giving experience? I
am the worst gift giver.
Even to your niece?
Truly, I really am. Like, I am the worst.
You're such a thoughtful person. It doesn't make sense. This doesn't track. You are I
have good ideas, but I usually don't ever have the time to follow through with them. Yeah. I am very thoughtful in my gift giving. Like, you know, I have given, you know, a really cool sneaker book about sneakers to someone that collects shoes. Yeah. I've, you know, done like things like that. Like, I think about stuff, but I've, you know, and it's horrible and no excuse, but I usually always pass the mark and forget and don't get around to shop. And then it's like gift card, or like, I'll give you your present in 2 months. And I'm like the worst gift giver.
I think
not in like coming up with things to give people, but like in actually giving it to them.
I think you've always loaded your schedule pretty heavily, and it unfortunately it's going to make you a badass in the long run. You know, you're able to build and create a career on your own accord. You've used the structural base that you've had with radio or with working in publicity for all those years, and now you're structurally really strong on your own. However, you don't have a chance to really like take it down, you know, a weekend to be like not in it. So I feel bad because you're a very thoughtful person. And I'm
trying to change that thing, but
yeah, you could always marry a rich man and this would solve everything.
But you know, that's the thing, is I don't think it would.
Like, let me tell you, I'm a
shopper, but I just wouldn't have.
I'm up for the job, Kelly.
But
I'd go for it. So
what about you? How are you at gift giving?
I mean, when you take a blessing, I suppose. I have not, maybe some years, but definitely, you know, people love my work and really appreciate what I do, and I enjoy what I do. I've wanted to be a radio host since I was a kid, which is why podcasting was tough, because it just felt like it was something everyone was doing, and that was not the lane I wanted to go. But anyways, we're here. Right. But with that, if it would have went the way that it was going, it was basically you accumulate your resume, and then at that point you may not book a gig, but at least you're like in line. Once the digital thing came in, it just knocked everything. So I sort of on some levels got knocked to the back of the line in some ways, and you're only getting older. I say all that to say it was hard because I've had so many starving where did you go? Okay, Kelly's here, but
I'm here, sorry.
My story wasn't that compelling.
I'm just I was so taken aback. I needed a moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're not watching us and you're only listening, you're missing out. No, I'm just basically saying, because of the journey that I've been on, I love myself, but like it's been a lot of starving artist moments, which means you have to click into your mind and really like ask, like, what would they like? What would they need? What would make that? What would be a special moment? Not even just like what they enjoy, but how it connects to you too. I always, coming around November, I usually try to think of the conversations I've had with the people that I care about and family and stuff like that. And I really like to like dig into that. You know, I like to dig into like, where did we communicate? What was fun? What was funny? And
well, you know, and that's one of my favorite things about you, is that you are so attentive and you retain information. When you talk to people, you're actually talking to them and you listen. You're not talking to hear yourself talk. Like, you actually listen to what people tell you, you retain that information, and you take in things about people. And I love that about you. So that totally tracks.
Keep going. Anyone who's been listening to this show, they know Ronnie will cut her off every 5 seconds because I just get so excited. The one time that you say, Ronnie, I wanted to tell you something good about you, you notice I said, oh, okay, keep going. Tell me more. And that tracks too. That actually tracks too.
But I do. It's very few people that you meet that can actually remember things about you that way, that would remember that you talked about liking this one thing that one time 75 conversations ago, but you are that person that does.
Yeah.
And that is such a great quality to have, and I hope you never lose that.
Yeah. See, that's why when you're dating me, not that you're dating me, but if you're dating me, you can't cheat on me because I remember quite a bit.
No, it goes the other way too.
Yeah. I'm like, but I know what you said. They're like, how do you know?
But you remember on this day, like at 6 o'clock when you said this?
Yeah, that's not where you were going. You said you were going to the gym and I still see a belly. Like, what's happening? You know? You didn't go to no gym. You didn't go to no gym.
No, but
it's funny. Yeah, but
so I can see you doing that and like pulling something cool out of your hat because it's something that someone had spoken about briefly that, you know, you wouldn't need, that no one else would think to get. And I have given some cool gifts.
I'll try to add a bunch of other things too, but I'll like make one little, like, I mean, it is corny for sure to do like a itemized. Actually, if you order from Viridian Row, it's not corny, but in general, like go to the mall and get like an itemized, not itemized, but a special little mug or whatever. I remember I thought that was cool. One time I got a mug for somebody about their kitchen, and lo and behold, that person got a renovation on their kitchen later on in life. So to me, it was like I had like you said, I had listened, like the kitchen meant a lot. And now there's like a mug that basically embodies, not that I paid for the renovation, but the mug
No,
itself.
but that's
speaks
cool,
to,
and that would be fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
if somebody says they want something in their situation, I want to come back to it. I don't just want to hear it. I want to come back and be like,
Right.
oh, okay, yeah. I wish I had tons of money to like shower people, but that's not what the gift giving experience is about. Like that's kind of bullshit too. People spend a lot of money and don't even know the person. It's kind of silly to me.
Totally. And that's one of the great things that I love. And, I am a huge, as we talk about, and which is one of the reasons why we're doing this special and why we did the Halloween, was I love movies. I love television, which is why we're doing what we do. But, I have like a game to play that, me and my sister and my cousins play. It's like, we'll just randomly text each other in movie quotes. And then the other person has to come back with the quote from that movie. And then we spin it to another one and we go back and forth, and we're having an entire conversation in nothing but movie quotes. And it's so fun,
wow, that's
which
nice.
is why it's so fun to see it like on t-shirts and in places to play, to be able to send gifts like that and do that, because it's just a silly, fun game. But it's something that I know that they would enjoy, because again, it's like you listen and it's not necessarily always about the big extravagant gift. It's about the things that matter. So when they look at it, they're always going to laugh. It's always going to bring a happy memory.
I totally believe in holiday get-togethers and really finding something fun to do. I'm a huge fan of that, and again, it is the contrast. If you have tons of money, you could do the more elaborate thing. In fact, you don't even have to go to someone's home. You could go to dinner. But something about that, I feel like all year long you could go to dinner. I like the concept of an intimate holiday get together with people you care about, and making sure it's not just, eggnog and music. Like, stop down, do a game, do something that's going to have such a memorable experience. Do something like, if anyone is shy, you make them go do karaoke, because what it's doing is it's basically saying, this is a space that we all enjoy each other. Let's come out of our cool and let's have that holiday experience together. Damn, look at us. We've been talking shit on difficult people, the recap for, a ton, because that's who we are. But we are softies in regular life that
I mean, we are, and that's what the holiday season does. It brings out all the good vibes.
Well,
and so when you're at your holiday parties this weekend, make sure that you are playing games, having fun, and just let the silliness of the festivities take over.
Yeah,
and if you're single, don't worry about it. Trust me, nobody's life is better than yours.
I mean, single people get to mingle, so we're good.
I mean,
yeah, I think that was one thing I had an issue with. I was like, you're coming off of, not you, but like we as people, we're coming off of a pandemic, a really crazy 2020. There's stuff going on all the time, all day, every day. And yet the nerve of, and I understand, to really give to your consumers, like, purchase this, purchase that. I understand the marketing, right? But it was just, I had felt like I was more inundated with the commercials I would hear on the radio or on the television or on the Instagram. There was a lot of this, like, you have to do this in order to be good for Christmas or to be giving. And I just was like at a point where one day I was so freaking pissed. I think I tweeted something like, listen, don't be too hard on yourself on the holidays, because like literally it's not about the gift giving experience. It's about the experience. And I had really, like, I'm glad that I'm like nicer now, but Kelly, it was, I believe over the weekend, I was so tense. I was like, why are you making people feel stupid about what they can and can't do? If you're a millionaire, fine. Go shower, make it rain, but you're basically forgetting that it has been such a dark, difficult year coming off a 2020 pandemic. And then now this year, suddenly everyone has to be arced to, if you don't buy our products, like our amazing sponsor, Viridian Row, doesn't come at people like that. They're more like, oh, this is some fun stuff. If this enriches your experience, cool. Imagine if Viridian Row had a marketing campaign that was like, "You hate your child if you don't purchase our stuff." And
You're
I
the
felt,
worst parent in the
yeah,
world if you
you're
don't
not a
buy this.
good brother if you don't do. You're not a good son unless you buy
No, and
this
that's
shit.
not a
But
good marketing tactic.
have you noticed
anyway.
that a lot of people
But
been
yes,
doing
I know
that?
what you're saying.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'd never seen it this way.
I mean, that's the whole concept of Jingle All the Way, is trying to get the next, Tickle Me Elmo toy that all the parents are fighting about. I mean, come on. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm so
just
glad my
like,
sister is not one of those moms. She's like, no.
yeah. Do what you can. Yeah, it's just so weird. I just never felt it this tense. Maybe it's because I'm working with a lot of within my randomlyRonnieJr.com. We have one of the shows that we do is called Let's Shine a Light on It.com. Let's Shine a Light on It is all about me interviewing small business owners. So I'm kind of getting a new sense of purpose with, like, what it is to sell a product, right? And when you get it in the organic way, it feels really good. But when you get it but when you get it in the consumerism, big companies like saying you're not a good parent unless you get this $10,000 thing for your kid. Nobody's saying that, but I feel that, and it's the antithesis of who I want to be. Yeah, I want to.
But it all plays into also that people are so conditioned hearing that they rather go spend tons of money on like Nike and Jordans and different things than they would to support a small business or a friend or family member that's starting a business. Right. You know what I mean? Which is a concept I've never understood. Yeah. It's, a lot of people that are small business owners always say the same things, like a stranger will support you faster than a relative or a close friend will. And I hope one day we can flip that.
And I think we are, because some people are like waking up. I feel like here's the value that I've had. It's a newer program. Obviously, because we do our program, Difficult Podcasters, but on randomlyRonnieJr.com, there's like 7 programs. Well, one of them is now, like I said, Let's Shine a Light on It for small businesses. But I did that, Kellie, because it added so much value to me. Like, I started to learn. It's great. It's amazing. Because we're all a business to a degree. I have my Patreon account, and I feel like even the way I work my Patreon account and get those supporters, I do it in a very genuine way. And I just got to hope long-term that's the right way. Oh my gosh, it is so funny. Anyone who's been checking out our show, we have literally shit talked the whole time, and you get one fucking holiday and all of a sudden
look at all this positivity coming at you.
Pansy ass. What the hell?
There's no better way to close it than on pansy ass.
That's right.
Come on.
This was fun. I thank you for your contributions to working with me all the time. You know that you're a superstar.
I gotcha.
And I guess we could wrap it up. Go watch more holiday movies and spread a little cheer.
Yay!
And you rest assured, once the new year hits, you could talk that shit again. Don't worry. There's plenty of time.
Absolutely. Everybody have a fantastic holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. All that jazz.
All the stuff. Yeah.
All the stuff.